Sometimes securing your WordPress site can be as simple as installing a plugin. But after it's installed, then you're left scratching your head as to what needs to be done with the settings on that plugin. Some of these security plugins can be a total headache if you check the wrong box or click on the wrong button. Your site can easily go up in smoke. So this video will show you how to configure the plugin named Better WP Security, and we're going to do this in less than 5 minutes. So first, let's go ahead and install, then activate the plugin. So we do that by logging into our dashboard area, which I've already done. And if you've not done that, then just go to your URL /wp-admin or wp-login.php. And if you've not logged in a while, then it will prompt you to do so by popping up a little box here asking for your username and password. Then once you've entered that, then you are going to end up on this page here. Then you want to come on over to plugins, go to add new. Then we just type in the search box here, Better WP Security. Click on search plugins, and that'll take us to the WordPress.org plugin repository, where in most cases it'll be the first one that shows up here. Click on install now. Are you sure? Yes. Then click on activate plugin. And at this point we can either click on settings here or security here. In either case, we'll end up in the same spot. But before we do that, I want to bring in our little timer here so we can do everything under the 5-minute mark. So let's go ahead and click on the timer. Go to security. Now at this point, since you've already done a full backup, hint, hint, of both your files and your database, then you can go ahead and skip this. But if you do click on this, then you're going to get the email sent to this email address here that contains your database backup. Let's go ahead and click on no thanks. I already have a backup. That'll bring us to this page here where you can allow this plugin to change WordPress core files. I would say yes. And then at this point, secure my site from basic attacks. This would be the easiest and best way and what I will recommend you do. But before we do that, let me just go to no thanks and show you what it looks like first off. Now we've got these different colors here, red, blue, orange, and green. We really want to shoot for green across the board, but that's not always going to happen. Actually, rarely will it happen. You'll get most of them to be green, but you definitely want to get rid of the red, and you want to try to get these guys to either go to blue or green. Here's a little color code down here to tell you what each one is. So right off the bat, if we go back and click on secure my site, basically let the plugin do its job, you'll see right away that a lot of those reds have already been changed. Now then you can go and click on the individual links here to change those reds into green, or at least ways closer to green, being orange or blue. Now the orange ones here, come on down here, they're partially secured, and turn on more options to fully secure these areas. There's a good chance that most all these oranges can be turned into green. The thing I want to point out though is that the blue items, they're not fully secured, but might conflict with other themes, plugins, or other things you got going on your site. So that's where the database backup is going to come in handy. If for some reason you're going to be bold and shoot for green across the board, hey, more power to you. But know this, that if you do break something, you've got an easy fix. Let me show you that real quick here. You want to log into your cPanel control panel. Come on down to the PHP My Admin, and you want to make sure you're getting into the proper database, and at this point you want to check all and go over here to with selected, click on drop. That's going to delete all of these guys. And once you do that, then you come on up here to import, navigate to the location of that database, not the entire file zip, but the database that you downloaded earlier, and then upload that. Click on go, and then that will replace all of these tables here, one of which will be screwed up because of what you did on the plugin stuff here. Then you just refresh this page and you'll be back to where you were prior to clicking on that link that made things go wonky on you. So that's how you can fix what would have been broken had you been bold and gone for green across the board. But at the very least, you want to get rid of all the reds. For example, if we go here, let's say admin user. Put in a different username here. Click on change admin user and done. Click on user or change user ID. You don't want to have the one ID in there. Now if we come on back to the dashboard, oh, okay, that one still exists, but we did get rid of that one. Let's get rid of this one here, because to do that it required us to log back in. Now if we come on back to the dashboard, you can see that one's now green, and that's basically what you want to do. Just go on down here and at least ways get rid of all the reds, and you want to shoot for getting rid of the oranges. But if you only have blue and green left, then you're in good shape. The one other thing I want to point out is down here under System Tweaks, which will get rid of a lot of the oranges and the blues. Any of these yellow ones here, you want to be wary of because they can mess things up. So I would go one at a time. Click on one, save changes, check your site. If it still works, you're in good shape. And again, if you break something, just come on into your PHP My Admin from your control panel, replace your broken database with your backed up database, and you'll be in good shape. And we did all that under 5 minutes. One of the ways a hacker will attempt to break into your WordPress site is by trying to guess your administration login username and password. Now they'll do this by using a software program that can guess hundreds of possibilities in minutes. And if you're not using strong usernames or unguessable passwords, then your site's about to be hacked. They call this a brute force attack. In some cases, the sheer number of guesses the hacker software is allowed to go through can put such a load on your server's resources that your hosting company might even shut your site down. Now, even though the shutdown might be temporary, your site is still down, and this is not a good thing. In addition to having strong usernames and passwords, you also need to be able to prevent the brute force attack from happening at all. Luckily, it's super simple and can be taken care of with the installation and activation of a free plugin. There are several plugins that will make it difficult to brute force attack your site, but this one is simple and lightweight, meaning it does not suck up tons of your server's resources nor slow your site down. The name of this plugin is Limit Login Attempts. Yep, I think the name says it all. So let's go ahead and log into our dashboard area and install this plugin. Once you're logged in, then you come on over here to the dashboard area, or actually you want to come on down to the plugins area so we can install a new plugin. But before we get things rolling, let me go ahead and pull in my timer here so I can show you just how fast we can do this. Go and get the timer started. Come on over here to plugins, click on add new, and we're going to install the Limit Login Attempts plugin. Yep, right there. And click on search plugins, and it should be the top one that pops up here. Yep, right there. Click on install now, click on OK. And once it's installed, we want to activate it. Just click that link there. And once it's activated, come on down here to the settings panel. Come on down to the new link that's been installed. That's the Limit Login Attempts link. Click on that. And here are the settings. Now then, since I've been playing with this, there's my IP address right there. By default, there's not going to be anything there, and this is not going to show up because, well, there's nothing to reset. But the other items in here are pretty well okay just the way they are. You can adjust them, the number of allowed retries, so if somebody screws up 4 times and tries to do it on a 5th time, they're locked out, and it will show them in a red box right above the login that you've got 19 minutes or 20 minutes before the next login attempt will be working. And if after 4 of these lockouts have happened, they're going to be logged out, or locked out rather, for 24 hours. Frankly, myself, I would change this to like 700 some odd hours. I don't want them back, because if they are a legitimate login or a legitimate user and they just simply screwed up 16 times, I mean, then something's wrong there. They're trying something fishy. So really, in my experience, if they've been unable to log in for 3 or 4 times, they're going to send me an email. Now, if that has not happened, then it just tells me they're probably not a legitimate user. So yeah, I would definitely bump this up to enough hours to where they're not going to bother me again. And the other thing that I would adjust is right here. I would like to be notified by email if after a certain number of logouts or lockouts have taken place. The email that they're going to send this to is the administration email that's set up in your WordPress install. And obviously with this box ticked here, the IPs of those that have failed to log in are going to show up down here. And that's basically it. Now, if for some odd reason you have, as the administrator, not remembered your password or you screwed something up, let me show you what happens. Let me get this guy out of the way here. Let's go ahead and log out and then try to log in with something other than what's proper. And try this now. And there, see, you get this box that pops up, and you've got 3 more attempts before it really messes things up. So if you can't remember your administrator login credentials in 4 attempts, well, you probably ought to just give up altogether. But if you want to, you can go into your cPanel or FTP account and just kind of disengage that plugin. Come on down to File Manager, look for that plugin, and just rename it. And that's in the WP-content directory. Open that up. In the plugins directory, open that up, and right here, just rename it. I just put a number or something after the end of it, like 1. Just basically change the name of it. And then come on back here, refresh, continue, and then you just type in the actual username, because you can see that you're not limited by the time factor anymore. But as soon as you activate that plugin again by renaming it back to the way it should be, then the remainder of that amount of time is going to be ticking down. And that's it. That's how you can get back in if you forget your own stuff as an administrator, and that's how you can block out the bad guys and gals from attempting to brute force attack your site using the simple plugin called Limit Login Attempts. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. What should be one of the most important items on your regular to-do list is running full backups of both your files and database of your WordPress sites. This is very important because, heck, even if you're a WordPress security ninja master, if the right person wants to hack your site, they will get in. And when they do, if you have a full backup of your files and database, then you are much better off, because you can then just delete everything and reinstall from your clean, full backups. This video will show you how to fully back up and restore your broken WordPress site, and we're going to do it in under 5 minutes. So let me just demonstrate first off that we have a fully functional WordPress site. Now, granted, there's not a lot to it. It's newly installed, and this does have a lot to do with the amount of time it's going to take. So yeah, the 5-minute ticker is based on a very small site. In other words, if you've got a 5 gigabyte database, then it's going to take longer than 5 minutes. If you've got a slow internet connection, it probably is going to take a little longer than 5 minutes. If you have both a slow internet connection and a 5 gigabyte database, then it's going to take a heck of a lot longer than 5 minutes. So I'm still going to do this video to show you how easy it can be done, and I'm going to do it in less than 5 minutes. So we click on the sample page. Ta-da, it's working. Home page. Ta-da, it's working. Now, and we want to go into our cPanel control panel. We need to get a zip file of all the contents of our WordPress directory, and we need to get a backup of our database. We'll do that through the phpMyAdmin. But first, I want to pull in my timer here so that we can do this in under 5 minutes. Go ahead and click on that and go. Let's get the database first. We click on phpMyAdmin, and we want to make sure we are backing up the database that pertains to the WordPress site we're going to be backing up. And I know it's this guy here, so we select on that, and it shows all the tables. Go to Export, Go. All this is fine, just the default settings. Navigate to where we want it to be downloaded to, and I would go ahead and put it in a folder that is dated. That way you know that this and the other backup we're about to do is related to one another. And frankly, I'd only keep like 3 of them, the most recent 2, and then the new one. Delete the fourth one, the fourth oldest one, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that we got that backed up, I'm going to leave this open. Come on back to our cPanel. Come on up to the File Manager. And these here are just other folders or other directories, have nothing to do with this WordPress install. This one does, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom here, holding the holding the Shift key on my keyboard down, and then select the bottom file, and that selects everything. Or you could just click on this guy here to select everything, and then come up here and click on Compress. And before I click on Compress Files, I'm going to give it a different name. This time I'm going to name this one Today's Date. Then Compress. And again, this is time based on how big your site is. And there it is right there. We want to download this to our directory, ideally in the same location where that database is, so that we know where everything is. And since this is also going to be required to be uploaded to make this full demonstration, no need to waste the time in the downloading and the uploading, because it's going to come back here in a second, because I'm about to break the site here just to demonstrate how to fix it. So let's just pretend that I've downloaded it and that I've also uploaded it. But let's go ahead and come on back to the site. Now that we've got our backup done, we've got this all zipped up and downloaded, and we've got the database all zipped up and downloaded. Now we come on back to the site here. I'm going to go into the dashboard area. Oh wait, nope, let's come to the cPanel. That's what I want to do. Go back into the File Manager, where I was, and go to the config file. Let's go ahead and open this up. Code editor. I guess I could do this for just about anything, but I'm just going to grab that and delete it. That should do some damage. And then save changes. And then get that out of there. Come on back here. Refresh. And yep, it's definitely broken. Now then, to repair. Let's come on back in here, because we don't know what broke, right? So we want to first upload our clean database. So we come in here and we want to select all these tables. We want to get rid of them. Come on in here and drop them. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes. Now we want to upload and install our clean database. Import. Select the one we just downloaded earlier. That's this guy right here. Come on down here and click on Go. Give it a second. Again, it's time based on how big your database is. And there we are. Okay, database fixed. Come on back in here. Go to File Manager, which is this one right here. And now then, let's again pretend that we've uploaded this guy here. And we want to make sure it's selected. Come up here and extract. And it'll overwrite all these other guys here. Extract. Bing, bang, boom. Done. Now then we can delete this, because everything's fixed, right? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And come on back to our site here. Refresh. And we're back to normal. And that is how you can back up both files and database. How you can break your site. Hopefully you don't need to do that. And how you can actually restore everything from those original backups. That's going to bring us to the end of this video on backing up and restoring and breaking your WordPress site. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.